95% of all AI projects fail. And today we're going to talk about what executives or what leadership must do to improve these adoption rates. Grab this here. All right. Here we go. Why 95% fail. So if you are a mid to senior executive or decision maker and thinking about AI, this one's for you. And so in this live session, I'm going to be pulling back the curtain and why most companies crash and burn when they're trying to adopt AI. From culture resistance to leadership blind spots. I'll walk you through my framework or framework that'll help you lead your organization through resistance to real through resistance to real and scalable impact. I've seen this so many times. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how much resistance you get trying to show people how to buy a hammer different. It's really interesting, which is why I got into AI. So here's the deal. Here's the sobering reality. And really, why this matters. Here's a statistic that should make every C-suite executive really kind of pause and think of. I'm serious, really think about this. 95% of AI pilots fail to deliver a measurable business value. They stay stuck in pilot mode. And this just isn't another um tech trend that didn't quite pan out, right? This represents billions with a B of wasted investment and missed competitive advantage. I've witnessed this firsthand with Fortune 500 companies who invested in new strategies, new tools, only to see them stall, whether it be in pilot phase or just deliverable, any kind of deliverable ROI, right? And this pattern is consistent, it's predictable. Like I say, you'd be surprised how much resistance you get just trying to show someone how to buy a new hammer, right? And so if you're a senior executive, a decision maker, a board member, right, responsible for AI strategy, this presentation this is going to arm you. This is going to arm you with some insights to avoid becoming another failure statistic. And we'll cut through. I'm gonna cut through the hype. I'm gonna focus on some real barriers that actually kill adoption. I've witnessed this firsthand. Firsthand, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Oh, did I skip too far? All right, here we go. The failure epidemic is what the data reveals. For real. 95%, like I said, 95% of AI pilots fail. MIT and Fortune research shows that 95% of these generative AI pilots deliver zero measurable ROI to organizations. 42% are abandoned before production. There's a 3% performance gap. McKinsey research identifies that high scale AI organizations outperform their peers by 3%, by three times the revenue in revenue growth. So the data paints a real serious picture here, right? While AI technology has never been more capable, organizational execution remains fundamentally broken. The companies that crack the code aren't just surviving; they're dominating in their markets. So here's really the truth. I'm serious. Here's really the truth. This isn't about technology. It's not technology. It's not the AI tech that's failing. Can I just be real? Can I just be real here? It's people. It's people. The real barrier to adoption is people's resistance to change. And I've seen it time and time again from an enterprise exec, from an enterprise strategy comes to the company says, "Hey, yeah, we going a new direction. We're so excited, and everybody's gonna do it." Right? And so they roll this program out, and it's all good at the ivory tower. It's all good at the headquarters. They feeling it. This is great. Yeah, man. We're getting we got some measurable results. We got things happening. We're doing this. But by the time it gets to Texas, can I say it like that? It starts off in California. Or it starts off in Delaware, Florida. It starts off at the company headquarters, wherever it's located. It's great. It's a great idea, man. They didn't ran the numbers, and this is going to work. By the time it gets to Texas, we got problems. Folks don't want to. Folks don't want to implement it. Executives got to fly down there and yell at the teams locally. It's funny. Or you gotta get on several teams meetings. You gotta get on teams meeting after teams meetings. You gotta sit through the awkward reprimands. And it all depends on how the organization is structured. Because if the leader is more like lax, well, what do you think about the implementation? No, no, we ain't changing. We ain't changing. We like what we're doing. I know it's broken. I know it sucks. I know it takes forever, but that's my job security, right? And then, oh man, don't let it be a union or something, right? Oh, the union. We got to talk to the union. Usually, technology is great. It's people. Now, let's really talk about this. The uncomfortable truth is that AI is not plug and play. I know. So many people, right? It's when people think AI, it's just like, whoa, AI, it's gonna fix it all. Just come in, fix it. And it doesn't quite work like that. It's gonna it's really good, but you do still have to guide it. You do still have to implement it. You do still have to figure out the information that it needs in order for it to be successful at the task that it's operating with. Does that make sense? Unlike previous software deployments, AI fundamentally changes how work gets done. It requires a new mental models, updated processes, culture shifts that most organizations underestimate by orders of magnitude. I'm so serious. The companies succeeding with AI aren't necessarily the ones with the best technology. They're not the ones with the best shiny tool, right? The best prompts, the best connectors, the best workflows. I can think it, and that technology connects. And it ain't quite like that. Um, it's the ones that are best at managing change management. Let me say this again. It is the best, though those who adopt AI the best, and I'm being really any technology. If they're gonna adopt any kind of change, it is the people who are good at managing change. Okay. resistance is root, right? The psychology of AI rejection. Let me break this down a little bit. Change of version. Okay. Most people, right? Here's the deal. If it ain't broke, they don't want to fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right. This mentality runs deep in established organizations, especially enterprise large organizations. When it's a smaller company, you got 10, 20, 30, 40 employees. It's not it is deep rooted, but I mean they're a little bit more flexible. They can move a little bit more, right? You got less than 100 employees, you can move a little more. When you get past 100 and you up to the hundreds and thousands of employees, and you're scaled across a mass enterprise, whether it be interstate or international, if it's nationwide, you have some complexity here, and then you have silos, and you have different groups of silos. You got different. The East Coast does it different from the West Coast, right? The North does it different from the South. Um, each each area has its own culture within the company, right? So you're really dealing with managing people. And I know it does seem you would think that, hey, if I come in with the iron fist, I'm gonna make them change. No, you won't. No, you won't. Because listen, I have seen it firsthand. They will sabotage your project. And listen, and AI can be in this, especially with AI, right? Bad info in equals bad info out. You could have some strategic sabotagers. And you're gonna have a lot that's resistant to change. I still remember when my company, my previous company, rolled out a big software development change. When it came to CRM, it was a CRM upgrade. Um, there was a lot of resistance to change from the sales force. I was on the sales side team, right? So I was on the sales side, and I was what you would call a front line. On front line using this technology. Technology was there to benefit us. And what I must say, what they did well, a good job that they did, was that they really helped us paint the benefits of okay, let's transition to this technology. This technology will help us. We've been piloting it with the little group over here. This group has been going good. Here's some efficiencies they got, and they got that group to really talk about it and sell it, right? They did a great job doing it, and this manager changed manager, and then it was a slow rollout. It was okay. Here's the rollout. We're gonna fix this piece. Okay, we're gonna fix this next portion, next portion. Now we're fully integrated, and it took about two and a half, 3 years for the full adoption to really take place, right? And I think it's a noteworthy approach to do if you have a big enterprise team, right? And I have some ways we're gonna talk about that. Okay, so change of version. Teams resist AI adoption because current methods feel safe and predictable, even if they're inefficient. Okay. Um, Professional. So identity and methods, right? Professionals derive identity from their expertise and established workflows. Right? AI threatens this identity by suggesting that their methods could be enhanced or replaced entirely. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Okay. This is how you have to, this is what you whenever I installed programs in the past, the way the one of the best ways to get enterprise adoption that I did was I had to sell it to each thought leader. Each thought leader had to get buy-in. They had to understand how is this going to help them at where they're at. None of this stuff changes, right? None of this changes when you the end product is AI, right? But none of this changes when you're working with people. So you're gonna have to come in and you gotta sell it to each key stakeholder. They have to understand the why. This is way more mental than it is tools. And there's also a real fear. Let me go there. There's a real fear, right? Job displacement fears create active resistance without clear communication about AI's roles, and employees assume the worst, and they actively Can I say with a big actively undermine adoption efforts? Understanding these psychological barriers is crucial for executives. You are not just implementing technology, you're asking people to fundamentally reconsider their professional identity and value proposition. I'm giving some gold standard right here, y'all. I hope you're hearing me. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. I have seen this firsthand. Whether it's one employee or 1,000 or 10,000, same thing. Same thing. Common executives blind spots. I know I'm stepping on some toes here, but that's why I'm an AI consultant. I'll come in and I tell you the truth. Okay. Buying these tools without diagnosing the problems, right? This is the big issue. So executives purchase AI platforms before clearly defining what problems need solving. This leads to expensive solutions, searching for relevant use cases. I want that to sink in for a second. Executives purchase AI platforms before clearly defining what the problems need solving. And honestly, that's a twofold issue. A good consultant is going to help you understand that. Right? A good consultant will help you understand and articulate and really stand up why this is a good idea and what portion of this is going to solve the issue. So not modeling adoption personally, right? The leaders who do not actively use AI themselves cannot credibly champion its adoption. Teams quickly recognize performative support versus genuine commitment. If you're not using or piloting the technology yourself, then you're just pushing it from the ivory tower. And if you're not seeing the real results, it is really hard to sell it. People see through that stuff. They see through it all day long. And yes, like I said, you can iron fist them and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do. Do it or get out. You can do that. But do you want to create that type of culture in your company? Ignoring middle management, right? Mid-level managers often become resistance nodes, right? Protecting their teams from another executive initiative. Their buy-ins is critical for successful rollouts. Your middle management is the lifeblood, right? These are the ones that they're funneling the why of the company down to their teams that they're leading, right? And I mean, and I've seen this work well, and I've seen it not. If your middle management does not have buy-in, they will plug the issue, right? Like that it will not fully get to their team, or they won't hold their team accountable to the change that you're expecting them to champion for the organization, right? So if you have this rollout, you say, man, we're going to use AI. This is going to be great. If that mid management, that mid tier leader does not have that buy-in, the team won't have that buy-in either. If they're lax with it, their team's going to be lax. I've seen it firsthand. Underestimating shadow AI. Employees are already using AI tools independently, and this is I know you don't think they are, but they are, and so often violating security protocols. This creates compliance risks while missing integration opportunities. Here's a good one. Here's what you can do. Just ask your employees what the tools they are already using. Like for real. And don't reprimand them, right? You want to educate them on the security risk. I was probably that dude. I knew the inefficiencies that I had, and I was able to leverage AI to help bridge those inefficiencies. So But if you create an environment where they can have that conversation, they can share this information with their immediate reports, their direct reports, or their leaders. You can then take that information and take that why. Hear what I'm saying. You could take that why, and you then sell them into, or you then align that value to what the program to the program that you're rolling out. Okay. So let's talk about this a little bit. Number one, vision and alignment. You've heard me say it a few times, right? Vision and alignment. What you want to do, you want to establish a clear strategic rationale, right? And secure genuine leadership commitment across all levels of the organization. Your vision, you have to have vision alignment. This is going to work if you want to have good AI adoption. You got to get the vision aligned right. Simon Sinek said it all the time. Start with why. You still always have to start with why. And the why is not good enough because I'm your employer and you're my employee, right? We are in 2025. We gotta lead a little. We gotta lead a little, a little more inclusive. We gotta lead well. Let me put it like we gotta lead well. And when you align the vision, we do vision alignment that you're aligning the why and how that why is connected to them at a local level and how it's connected to them from a corporate level and the social responsibility and all the things. How am I gonna help your job be easier? When you do that, the resistance to change goes down, right? So then you want to diagnose the resistance. Where are we having problems at? Systematically identify and map organizational barriers, resistance points, and cultural friction areas before deployment. Where we gonna have problems, right? We know the Southern team, they don't never like change. Every time we bring up change, we're gonna have some problems. Or hey, you might have a union, right? Okay, we need to have a plan. Is there a union in place? Are we going to have some issues bringing this up with the union? Right? Like we want to roadmap these before we get there. Okay. And then you want to pilot and deliver. So execute focused pilots with measurable outcomes, building credibility and momentum through early wins. And because what you're doing with that pilot, like I said, a lot of times this is where we get issues. This is where it gets stuck. You get stuck at the pilots. Because we haven't done this stuff beforehand. We haven't aligned the vision. We haven't aligned, and what the pod is going to do, it's going to help get those stories, get those local stories, those local wins that help you sell this adoption across the platform. So I think you might be like, Roland, well, I have a change management consulting company. Why aren't they telling me this stuff? Because they're threatened, but they feel threatened by AI too. Everybody feels threatened by AI. It's because they don't get it yet. I love what Dan Martell said. The future, the future is going to be who can direct AI. It's not about it replacing you. It's about directing. It's about exponentially getting more output than what you're currently doing. It's way faster. Don't take as long. Don't take as long to think. Works 24/7. Won't take off for holidays. Then you want to scale and embed once we get to that point. So systematically expand successful pilots while embedding AI capabilities into core business processes and culture. So this high-level framework provides the strategic structure, detailed implementation, and methodology tools are reserved for client engagements. Just want to put that out there, just letting you know. So but that's high level. I want you to see, I want you to catch the vision, as I'm saying, right? Catch the vision with me. Okay. So let's talk about diagnosing your resistance zones a little bit. Okay. Leadership alignment. Are your C-suite and board genuinely committed? Or are they checking the boxes or just checking the boxes? Let me hold on. Let me bring this back. Is the senior level, is the C-suite level aligned? If they are not aligned, It's like dragging bricks up a mountain. If I could would like yarn, you know. If you don't have senior leadership buy-in, it makes it a lot harder. It really does. Misaligned leadership creates cascading resistance throughout the organization. Listen, if number one doesn't care, why should I? That's how people are. This is human psychology. Middle management. Mid-level managers often become bottlenecks. They need clear incentives and support to champion AI adoption rather than protect the status quo. Your middle managers are your lifeblood. And you know they're your lifeblood. Whenever you have a new initiative that's coming out, or are you trying to get that initiative communicated throughout the organization? Your mid-tier managers, your middle managers, they are the what's a good I'm trying to think of a good term that's not coming to me. Uh oh, I guess I was caboose. I want to say caboose, but it doesn't. They're a good man. Can't think of it. I'm trying to think of something like jet fuel, but not jet fuel. Anyway, they're let's just say caboose. We'll use caboose for this one. They're a good caboose, right? When you if they have the buy-in, they're the ones who are managing the vast majority of either the leadership of the leaders that manage that manage the rest of the organization. Um, they're your lifeblood to the organization. You know, they carry the influence to the local influence. Does that make sense? Frontline adoption. End users must trust AI outputs and understand how tools enhance rather than replace their expertise. Trust is earned through transparency. And so here's the deal. AI cannot succeed as an overlay on broken processes. Workflow gaps and system friction must be addressed systematically. Sorry, I didn't know. I thought I had to, when I wasn't showing you where I was at. Process integration, right? So AI can't succeed as an overlay on broken processes. Workflow gaps and system friction must be addressed systematically. And this is so true. It's like what you're trying to do. If you're trying to put AI on top of it. Now, granted, now you can use it to help resolve some of those issues and understand okay, how do we fundamentally address this issue before you come up with the solution on top of that issue. You want to fix that. You don't want to bolster a bad problem. I have seen this. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. You'd be surprised how challenging or how how broken a process can be buying a hammer, and how inefficient it can be buying a hammer. Extremely. And if I put a solution on top of an already bad process, it doesn't make the process better. It's going to actually just identify how bad it really is, right? And and you want to fix some of those things prior, right? So if you have a bad buying process, we want to start addressing the bad buying process before we put a whole system on top of it to make it better. Otherwise, we're just really bolstering a bad process. Okay. Each resistance zone requires different strategies. Okay. Each zone requires different strategies. So, a diagnostic approach prevents wasted effort on systems rather than root causes. Okay. So your AI prioritization roadmap, right? Let's unpack this a little bit. Start with clarity. What specific business problems will this new solution solve? Avoid technology first thinking that leads to expensive experiments without clear value. This is why you bring in a consultant. That's why you bring in a consultant. We need to define the problem first. What are we fixing? And let's prioritize what we're going to fix. Okay. Target low risk, high visibility functions for initial pilots. You want success builds credibility and momentum for larger initiatives. I know we want to come in and just fix it all at once. Just fix it all at right now. Rome wasn't built in a day. So solving this problem will not be solved in a day. I know it's AI. We think AI is gonna what? We need come down. Let's focus. Okay. It will help you solve some things, but it's gonna be over time. Technology, yeah. If this was an ideal world and we had everything ready to go, and we could just take the new the new solution, the new AI solution, put it on top and just fix it all. It'd be great. But because it's not a perfect world, because this world is falling, because you probably got broken systems as well, it don't work like that. So we're gonna have to take our time, take some steps to get this resolved. All right. And to get this adoption um caught. Okay. Invest in change management. Allocate significant resources to training, communication, and cultural adaptation. Technology adoption is fundamentally a people change. Let me say this again. Technology is fundamentally a people change. Then we want to build. Lastly, we want to build some governance framework. All right, establish clear protocols for AI use, feedback loops for continuous improvement, and metrics that matter to business outcomes. What are we getting out of investing in this AI, in this AI program, this AI solution, whatever that is? Let me tell you what a AI consultant is. I'm just a counselor. I'm a counselor, man. That's really how it is. I am a counselor, helping you figure out how to implement this strategy, how to implement new technology across your organization. So let me give you a little playbook here. All right, give you a little playbook. So here's what you can do in 90 days, right? Let's just get you the executive playbook. The first week, one through two, we're going to do a leadership audit, right? We're going to assess genuine AI commitment across your leadership team, identify companies and skeptics, and address misalignment before proceeding. Okay. Then week 3, 4, resistance mapping, right? Systematically diagnosing organizational barriers. Survey middle management, frontline teams to understand real concerns and friction points. Right. This, and then we're going to pilot. We're going to design some pilots. We're going to select some high impact, low risk pilots. And again, not like, if this was a perfect world. Sometimes this takes a little bit longer. Let me say this again. If this was a perfect world, it'll roll like it. But if not, some of these take time. Take time to do. Okay. Select high impact, low risk pilot opportunities, design clear success metrics and communication strategies, secure necessary resources and support. And then we're going to launch the pilots with intensive change management support, track adoption rates, user feedback, and business outcomes, and adjust strategy based on early results. It takes time to move this into play. But what's key, as I'm a continually share, is local buy-in and getting them to say, man, this really does help. And they get to go out and evangelize what that means to them in their departments and in their silo in the company. And that synergy is what changes the game. That's why AI as a whole has taken off. Because people are like, oh my goodness, I don't have to think about putting a food plan together for the week. I don't have to think, I don't have to waste a lot of mental energy on this. Right? Think about how people are using AI. Think about how your employees are using AI right now in their personal lives and how it has improved some certain aspects. So that's what we have to do. That's what we're going to do within your organization. They have to. You have to help them understand what am I doing today that it'd be nice if I could get 5, 10, 20 minutes back. Oh, we have to go searching for these files. We're using up a lot of time. It's taking me weeks to put this data together, to search it, mine it. And if we're going to bring an AI solution on top of it, how long is it taking you to find this information now? Oh my goodness, find it in minutes. Yeah, that's wow. Tell your neighbor next to you, right? This is way more people change management than anything else. Oh no, there we go. What high performing AI organizations do differently? CEO level commitment. AI strategy is a broad level priority with dedicated executive ownership and regular reported on progress obstacles. This is what the CEOs are doing. Culture first approach. They invest heavily in change management and treat AI adoption as a cultural transformation rather than technological rather than technology deployment. Systematic scaling is that successful pilots are methodically expanded with documented playbooks, training programs, and governance frameworks. These organizations understand that an AI competitive advantage comes from organizational capability, not just technology access. They build AI adoption muscles to systematically and scale it as a core competency. The ones who are getting this is how they're doing it. So I want you to think about that at your company. And then what's really at stake? What's really at stake? If we don't do this, what's really, how much money are we going to lose? How much efficiency are we going to lose? What's really at stake? At in the next 24 months, adoption is going to increase, right? Stronger, better, faster AI is going to come out. And the companies who adopt early will scale way faster than you, exponentially faster than you. We already see just at early adopters now 3 times average revenue growth of their competitors. So if we don't move, there's a competitive disadvantage. So while you debate, competitors are building AI powered process that creates sustainable advantages in speed, quality, and cost. Talent flight. Top performers expect AI enhanced workflows. Organizations that lag loose their best people that organizations that lag lose their best people to more progressive competitors. And then it costs, right? More early movers capture learning advantages. Late adopters face higher implementation costs and steeper change management challenges. The best time to plant a tree, I love this, was 20 years ago. The second best is now. This applies perfectly to AI organizational capability building. It's so true. Again, I have seen this firsthand. Um, I've rolled out when you effectively roll out a program and the benefits are realized firsthand by the frontline employees, uh, morale goes up. People feel like you've heard them. You've heard them with their challenges, right? And you're trying to resolve them. You're helping them you're helping them do their jobs better, faster, easier. See what I'm saying? I'm hoping this is helping. Hoping this is helping somebody. So looking back, moving forward, what we've learned: 95% failure rate isn't about AI technology limitations. It's about organization misalignment and poor change management. The companies breaking through this barrier share some common characteristics: leadership commitment, resistance management, cultural transformation, and system scaling. Your greatest levers, right? As a senior executive, your most powerful tools aren't technology, they're organizational. I want you to hear me again. As a senior executive, your most powerful tools aren't technology, they're organizational. You focus your energy on alignment, communication, and systematic change management. That is how you roll out a program. These capabilities will determine your AI success more than any specific tool or platform. How you effectively manage change management is the key. And you already have a change management consulting firm. And if they're not helping because they think they're going to be replaced by AI too, maybe you just need to reach out to me. Okay. I'm here to help. My name is Roland. I'm here to help. So, are you ready to beat the 95%? Here's what you can do. I actually have in a link in the description below. I have a school community. Join the school community. It's the Digital Real Estate Dojo, and I talk a lot about a lot in there. But I talk about AI and YouTube influence, but all those things. But you're gonna get some strategic feedback, and I have a lot of AI professionals in my school group. Join my school group, okay? And then for some of you who are watching this, book a strategy session. My calendar link is in the description below. Reach out, set up, let's connect, and let's talk about what your company's doing and how we can help you mastermind change management for AI adoption. Okay. So true influence isn't about going viral, right? I use that. I say that a lot. I say it a lot because I work a lot with influencers, and I'm an influencer too, right? As if whatever what they say, right? But true influence. It isn't about going viral or getting a whole bunch of views, even though I will take those views. But it's about stewarding your gifts, right? And your gifts to serve people and to glorify God. And that might not resonate with a lot of y'all, but that's what resonates with me. And that's just how I operate. But it's about serving people. And for me, serving people glorifies my Father in heaven. Okay. Your AI leadership decisions impact thousands of employees and customers, right? Make them count. It is about being a servant leader. Okay. So with that, we'll see you in the next video. Have a great one.